Our next guest says America's media needs a total transformation. Matt Taibbi, a progressive journalist who is a New York Times best-selling author and columnist for Rolling Stone, writes, "The flaw in the system is that even the biggest news companies now operate under the assumption that at least half their potential audience isn't listening. This leads to all sorts of problems on all sides. We now lean into inflammatory caricatures because the financial incentives encourage it." Matt, welcome to NewsNation. It is a pleasure to talk to you.
Thanks for having me on.
Let's start with your assessment of the state of the media today. What do you see as the biggest problem?
Well, I wrote a book a couple of years ago called Hate Inc. that was about the transformation of really the commercial model of media in this country. And the central idea there is that we went from a model that was standard in the 80s and the 70s, where there were just 3 networks, where it was normal for a news company to go for the entire audience. You were building a newscast that was designed to be consumed by the entire family, whether it was your right-wing uncle or your, the teenage kid in the Che t-shirt. But with the advent of the internet and cable, the landscape became very atomized and fragmented. And now the news strategy stresses picking a demographic and trying to dominate it by feeding it news that you know that they will like. So the message went from being something that was broad and designed to be consumed by everybody to being something that was highly charged and designed to animate a smaller demographic. And usually what that involves is giving them lots of content that's provocative about some other group.
Or reinforces their own views.
Exactly, yes. That's actually a crucial element of the commercial strategy is, once you build up a relationship with your audience and they start to have some expectations about what kind of content they're going to get, you really can't disrupt their expectations. It's almost like a continuity error in film where people begin to expect a certain thing, and if you give them a truth that may well be accurate but is not part of a narrative that they're accepting, they will go to another station. And people are afraid of this, and that's why we very seldom challenge our audiences anymore.
I often believe, very strongly in fact, that our job as journalists is to truly listen. And I think many of us, it's easy to get away from that. And I think just as human beings, the most important thing we can do for someone else is to truly listen to them. You often get heat from fellow progressives about your willingness to engage with people who think differently than you. I actually love that, including conservatives. So why is that dialogue so important?
Well, I think it's important just generally as a journalistic technique, and this is a generational thing that's also been a big change in our business. A couple of years ago, I saw a columnist write something amazing. I forget what outlet it was for, but he was basically saying, "I hate the telephone." He doesn't like to talk to people before he writes. And I grew up in an era when constant dialogue was actually the entire job. Like, you had to be on the phone all the time. And the reason for that is that if you go into a story with preconceptions, you're almost guaranteed to get it wrong every single time. And you can't base your work on what you did yesterday either. You have to do each new event with a clean slate. And that means listening to people anew every time you get an assignment or every time you cover anything. And it doesn't matter what you're talking about, whether you're talking about the election in 2020 or the lockdown policies or who's right about whether masks work or not. I mean, I have definite opinions about that fall in line with what everybody tells me, but I do think it's important to listen to other points of view because, not so infrequently, people who we think are wrong turn out to be right, at least partially right. So it's important to listen, and it's also important to listen to criticism. I think that's a crucial element of doing the reporting job correctly.
Yeah, and continuing to learn from one another. You've been critical of President Trump, but you've also given him credit when you thought credit was due and he deserved it. What do you think his legacy will be?
Well, yeah, I think it's going to be incredibly negative. He is going to be remembered for a time period that was, basically wall-to-wall discord. He, I covered Trump's campaign in 2015, 2016, and I remember very graphically that he made a great deal of promises to his audience about correcting long-standing failures of the bipartisan political system, and I don't think he did a whole lot that you could say addressed those promises. In addition, this last chapter of his presidency with the election result controversy. I think it's pretty difficult to argue that he didn't carry it on too far, and he's going to be remembered as an infamous character because of that. I think that in many of the same ways that Nixon was dogged by Watergate, I just don't think that he's going to be separated from that legacy by historians.
And Taibbi co-hosts a podcast called Useful Idiots. It's distributed by Rolling Stone magazine. The show covers politics. It covers the media. Matt is also the author of the book Hate Inc. Why Today's Media Makes Us Despise One Another.